In this video, we're going to learn about Thevenin and Norton theorem. So the objective of it is at the end to be able to solve circuit with multiple power sources by simplification using Thevenin and Norton equivalent circuit. So what is Thevenin and Norton theorem? Thevenin and Norton theorem says that if you have a circuit with multiple power supply like this, basically in a circuit, what you have is you can have multiple power supply and multiple resistances. And from a point of view of two terminal in the circuit, let's say we take these two terminals, A, B, where it can be connected to any type of load. For example, imagine if you have a power supply, basically in your power supply, you don't know what do you have in it. Of course, if it is a battery, it's just a battery, but usually in a more complex power supply, it is a circuitry, where in that circuitry you have a certain type of power supply, and then you have arrangement of resistances and components. So at the end, you just only have your two terminals that got out of your power supply, right? But at the back, at the inside of the power supply, you don't know what do you have. So you might have an arrangement of something like this. So this is just an example. So in here, for example, we would have we only have access to terminal A and B, but what we don't know what we have inside. So inside, basically in the circuit, they have two power supply. One is current supply and another one is voltage supply, and they have multiple resistances in certain configuration. They have R1 here, R2, and R3. And at the end, the objective is to calculate what the value of, for example, what the value of the voltage across AB if it was connected to a certain resistances or certain load, right? So in order to solve that, in previous video, we have seen a method where we use what we call superposition. But in this part of the video, what we're going to look at is we can use another method, which is source conversion or power supply conversion, where we can transform a current source into voltage source, and we can transform a voltage source into a current source to help us in navigating and in simplifying the circuits, right? So if before we have simplification of resistances, we can see this part of video or this part of classes as something equivalent to simplification of power sources or power supply, right? So let's start with that. Let's have a look. So Thevenin and theorem, what does it say? It says that from a point of view of two terminals, a circuit can be simplified. The rest of the circuit, I mean, can be simplified basically can be simplified into what? Into only two components. So the whole component, the two power supplies and all the resistances can be simplified into only two components, which is one power source and one equivalent resistance. So no matter how big your circuit is, at the end, it can always be simplified into only one power source and only one equivalent resistances. So in terms of power source, we know that resistances is just a resistance. It is just a resistance. But in terms of power source, we know that in terms of power source, we can have two types of power source, right? One, we could choose either want to simplify it into a circuit with one power source, which is current power source, or a voltage power source. So there is basically two simplified circuit, and two of them are called, one is called a Norton and another one is called Thevenin. So Thevenin and Norton. Thevenin is basically a simplified circuit where you have the power supply is in form of voltage supply, and you have an equivalent resistance connected to it in series with the power supply. we have a voltage supply of, let's say, I'm going to call US, and equivalent resistance of R equivalent. So from the point of view of these two terminal A and B, this circuit can at the end be simplified into a Thevenin circuit where you will only have one equivalent voltage supply and one equivalent resistance. Or it can also be simplified into Norton form. Norton is basically when you have only one power supply but now not a voltage supply. If you prefer it to be a current supply, then it could be current supply. But now the resistance is not in series but in parallel. But the value of R equivalents are the same. So this will simplify our analysis because we know that any circuit can be transformed into these two types of circuit. So the objective, of course, at the end is to simplify this circuit into either Thevenin form or Norton form in order to be able to calculate UAB. Because here UAB is easier to calculate, right? So, and then between Thevenin and Norton, we can basically interchange them depending on your preference or on what is easy in the analysis. If it is easier to use a voltage supply, and then that means you can have a Thevenin form. But if you have a Thevenin form and it's not easy to solve, you want it to be in Norton form, you want to change your voltage supply into current supply, you can switch directly into this form. So both forms are exactly the same, they are equivalent, right? So what's the proof that they are equivalent? So you're going to look at the proof, why are they equivalent? In order to prove it, what we have to do is we'll try to do some measurement of usual parameters. So the parameters that we're going to measure is, as usual, we're going to look at, in the point of view AB, what is the voltage and what is the current at AB for both Thevenin and Norton in different cases. Let's say for the first cases, so this is to prove that Norton circuit is basically equals to Thevenin circuit. So we'll test it at, let's say, what we call at short circuit. We'll test in the condition of short circuit. What does it mean to test at the condition of short circuit? It means between point A and B, what I'm going to do is I'm going to short circuit A and B. Short circuit A and B means I just connect between A and B. There is no resistance in between it. Nothing consumes the power between the energy between A and B. A and B are the exact same point. So what happened when A and B in Thevenin are connected, and what happened when A and B in Norton are connected? So we're going to try to deduce what happens. In Thevenin, we're going to try to measure the voltage and the current. And in Norton, we're going to try to measure the voltage and current as well across AB at short circuit. So voltage at AB, when AB is short circuit, what is it equal to? When we look at the circuit, when it is short circuit, right, UAB in this condition means A and B are basically the same points. So UAB equals to 0. And then what we're going to measure is IAB. So I that goes across point A and B. So if it is short circuit, what happens to the current that goes across I between A and B? So basically it is now a closed circuit. So when you have a closed circuit, US will deliver a current and the current will circulate in it. There is only one power supply, one voltage, and only one resistance. That means the current that goes across here is basically US over R equivalent. So IAB is equals to US over R equivalent. Let's see for Norton. What is UAB when it is short circuit? When it is short circuit, what happened is UAB is the same point. So again, it means UAB equals to 0. And what happens to IAB when it is short circuit? when it is short circuit, the current that goes through IAB is, so it is now short circuit. It means there is a conductor here that is connected. The current IS goes out of the power supply. It has the choice at this node to go into R equivalent or to go into AB, the conductors at AB. So which one would it choose? If R equivalence means there is a resistance between AB, it is just a conductor, short circuit, it means there is no resistance. So of course the current would prefer to go through an easier path. So EAB gonna be equals to IS. So IAB equals to IS. So here we can see that in both cases, Thevenin and Norton, at short circuit, UAB equals to 0 and IAB equals, in one case it is US over R equivalent, and in the other case it's IS. And if we look at Ohm law, we know that IS is basically equals to US over R equivalent. So that means both circuit, Thevenin and Norton, are exactly the same in the condition of short circuit. But that is not sufficient to prove that Thevenin circuit and Norton circuit are equivalent. We also have to test it if we have another condition. For example, it's not that short circuit, but this time when we have an open circuit. What does it mean to have an open circuit? Open circuit means point AB is disconnected, like in this figure, and we'll try to measure the same thing. Okay, we're going to repeat for Thevenin and Norton, both of them. We will try to measure the same parameter, which is UAB and IAB. Right? So we look at the case one by one. So open circuit, when at Thevenin, what is UAB equals to? We go to Thevenin, UAB is open, so we measure what UAB equals to. So if it is open, what UAB equals to? If it is open, it means there won't be any current that circulates. If there is no current that circulates, that means our equivalent won't consume any energy. So that means the energy at this point will be equal to the energy at this point, and energy at point B will be equal to energy at this point, the minus terminal. So UAB is exactly equals to US. UAB is equal to US. Okay, for IB, what's IB equals to? The current between point A and point B that goes across point A and point B. When it is open circuit, of course, when it's open, there's no current that circulates, so it equals to 0. Okay, now for Norton, UAB, let's measure what UAB is. UAB, when the circuit is open, so it is exactly in this condition. When you measure UAB, UAB is basically equals to the U that goes across R equivalent. And if you measure that U that is across R equivalent, we know that R equivalent has a current IS that goes through it. So UAB or UR equivalent equals to R equivalent multiplied by I. So that's right, it's R equivalent multiplied by IS. And IAB, we know that it is open, so there is no current that circulates between point A and B, and it is 0. So we can see that the current, both of the cases in Norton and Thevenin, are 0. They are the same. And in UAB, for Thevenin is equal to US. For Norton, it is equal to R equivalent IS. And we know by Ohm law that US is equal to R equivalent IS. So it means Thevenin and Norton at open circuit condition are also equivalent. So from here we can say that no matter the condition, whether be it short circuit or open circuit, Thevenin and Norton, from the point of view of AB, they are exactly the same circuit. So you can use either in the form of current supply or voltage supply. From point of view of AB, they are exactly the same circuit. So now, conclusion is we can use this property now in order to solve exercises or problems where you have multiple power supply. So let's tackle. Let's try to look at an example of exercise. Okay, so the exercise. Scroll down a bit to have more spaces. Okay, let's say we have a circuit with one resistance on the left hand side. We have one current supply equals to 3 amps. We have another resistance over here, and we have a terminal on which we are interested to measure the voltage later. Another resistance, and another voltage supply on the far right hand side. And I'll give the value directly for us to be able to calculate, because the calculations are pretty easy. So this resistance equals to 4 ohm. This resistance equal to 2 ohm. This resistance gonna be equals to 3 ohm, and this voltage supply equals to 2 volt. So I'm gonna call this voltage as UL for voltage of the load. And let's say to make it easy, we're going to put a load. So it's a resistance with a resistance of, so RL, resistance of the load, equals to 8 ohm. So it can be any resistance, any load, but I decided to put it something to make it easier to calculate. But if even it wasn't there, you can also calculate. So now what we want to do is, of course, find URL. Right? Find the voltage across the resistance RL. So what do we need to do? What we need to do using Norton and Thevenin or equivalent current sources and voltage sources, we'll try to reduce the circuit into the smallest form of a circuit, right? So if we want to reduce, we have known already before we had equivalent resistances. For example, here you have one resistance here and one resistance here. It is very difficult to put a equivalent resistance between them, because there is a power supply over here, which is a current supply. But from Norton and Thevenin, I will recall. So I will recall and I'll draw back the Norton and Thevenin equivalent circuit. So if you have something, so the reminder over here, right? So we could have, this is in voltage supply, a circuit in this form can be transformed, right, into a circuit with current supply, but with this time the resistance in parallel. So if you have something like this and it doesn't arrange you, it doesn't help you into solving the problem, you can change it into a circuit like this, right? Okay, so now we know that here the form that we have here, it's exactly like this form, right? But it's hard because we would like to have the resistance in series with the 2 ohm resistance. Then we would be able to just add them. So what we can do is, I'll take this part and I'll try to convert them into voltage supply. So I'm converting it into voltage supply. If I convert them into voltage supply, what happens is, so you have the power supply that has the current direction on lower on to the bottom. So it would become, basically, let me find my pen. So it become a voltage with a voltage with higher voltage supply with higher energy on the lower hands on the bottom part, and less energy on the top side. So minus plus on this direction, right? now it's a voltage supply, so you can put your resistance now in series. So the 4 ohm is now here, and it has become in voltage form. The question now is, what is this voltage equals to, right? So the voltage equals to the resistance R, 4, multiplied by the current, it was 3 amps, multiplied by 3. So now we have a voltage supply with a voltage equals to 12 volt. And the rest of the circuit maintains the same. So you have the 2 ohm over here, we have RL over here, and then 3 ohm, and then finally the plus minus the voltage of 12 volts, right? So now you see that by having this here, 4 ohm and 2 ohm in series, you can now just add them together. I made a mistake again, so it's minus, it's very important, it's minus here, plus here is 12 volts. Just every step when you do simplification, just redraw the circuit to make sure that you don't miss anything. So now the net simplification is 4 plus 2. Now you have 6 ohm over here, and the rest of the circuit maintains the same, right? RL, 3 ohm, and voltage supply of 12 volt in this direction. Okay, so now we have a simpler circuit. Next simplification, what do we need to do? We can see that we have an arrangement of resistance 3 pointed here. There are simplifications, but it's not very easy to remember. So what we need to do is, I think it would be easier if we can put the 3 resistances in parallel with each other. So if I want to put them in parallel with each other, what I can do is, for example, let's take this 6 ohm. I can put it in parallel with a power supply, but this power supply has to be transformed back into a current supply. The same case here for this 3 ohm is I want to put it in parallel with RL in this direction. What I have to do is to transform this voltage supply also in current supply, in current form. So let's do that together. So instead of having a voltage supply, now I have a current supply, and the direction, according to the direction of voltage, is the direction to the bottom. And now I have transformed this 6 ohm into a resistance in parallel. So the value of the current, what's the value of the current? We know by Ohm law I equals to U over R. So the U was 12 volts over R, 6 ohm. So 12 divided by 6 is 2 amps. Now we have a current supply with an amplitude with a value of 2 amps. And then on the left hand side, I will do the same. The 12 volts will be changed into current supply, because I want to put the resistance in this configuration, the 3 ohm, and the voltage is in direction to the top, and the voltage equals to, the current is in direction to the top, and the current is equals to U over R, and the U is, it was 12 volts here, divided by R, which is 3 ohm, so it is equals to 4 amps. So now it is transformed into a current supply with the value of 4 amps. And the rest of the circuit is the same. The rest is basically just the middle, which is RL. Now we have a simpler circuit where you can basically we can basically join the 3 resistance together in parallel. And we have to remember the voltage that we were looking for was URL. And URL, now if we look at the circuit, URL is basically the same voltage that goes across RL, the 6 ohm, and the 3 ohm. So we can join them together, right? So let's say we join them together. So I'll go here now. Now in the middle, you will have one single equivalent resistance. And the resistance, what is it equal to? Is equal to R equivalence. So over here, I'll do the calculation for R equivalence. R equivalence is basically what is 1 over, there's the 3 resistance is 1 over, the first resistance is the 6 ohm resistance, 1 over 6, right? The second resistance was 1 over 3. And the third resistance is RL. So RL, if we, RL, so it's 1 over 6 plus 1 over 3 plus 1 over RL. And 1 over RL, RL is 8. So it's 1 over 8. 1 over 8. So that is the value of R equivalent. And then, so the rest of the circuit stays the same. We have a voltage supply, a current supply on this side of 2 amps. And the current supply on the other side equals to 4 amps. So by now, what we can do is you can use, for example, superposition method that we have learned in previous video. Or what is easier is to look into just add up the current together. So if we look into, let's say, we look into this branch, what happened in this branch is there is a current of 2 amps in this mesh that circulates into the branch. And from this mesh there is 2 amps circulate into the branch. From this mesh there is 4 amps that circulates into the branch in opposite direction. So we have put the 2 amps circulate in this direction, the 4 amps circulate in the opposite direction. So what we can do is, it is actually as if we have we have one single resistance and one single current supply, but the current supply is basically the addition of both. So it's 4 amps. If you look here, 4 amps in one direction minus 2 amps, so it becomes 2 amps, but in this direction, right? So if we look at this branch and look at this mesh, let's say we pick this one, it's 4 amps minus 2 amps, so it becomes, in general, it becomes only one power supply, but with 2 amps. That's the equivalent of it. So output at the end, you have 2 amps of power supply, and you have one resistance of current supply and one resistance with the value of R equivalent. So now we know that the thing that we were looking for was this URL. So the URL can be found here now. So URL now is a simple circuit, right? It's a simple circuit in the form of Norton with one current supply and one equivalent resistance. Now it's easy to calculate URL. URL equals to, so it's R equivalent multiplied by I. So R equivalence I is 2 amps, and R equivalence is the value that we have here. And if you take your calculator and you do the calculation, you'll find out that URL equals to 3.2 volts. So that's the answer for this particular exercise. So I hope that you'll do the other exercises that you can find in the slide, and then try to do all of them to practice the method of power source transformation, Thevenin and Norton. So thank you very much.